Hey there, this is Jared Thuro. I'm a member of ED 216, Processes and Acquisition of Reading, taught by Professor Zechariah Smith at Montgomery College. The book that I chose for my YouTube presentation is called Old Black Witch. It was written in 1966, but it's pretty up to date, aside from a couple minor details. The component of literature I chose is comprehension, along with maybe vocabulary just to ensure comprehension. The Common Core standard that I chose is RL3, which is analyze how and why individuals, events, and ideas develop and interact over the course of the text. The grade I chose is third grade, so RL3 continues. Describe characters in a story, for example, their traits, motivations, or feelings, and explain how their actions contribute to the sequence of events. So, excuse me again. Old Black Witch is a story about a young boy named Nicky and his mom, and kind of on a whim, they buy this house out in the country. Uh, they plan on turning the house into a tea room, and that's kind of the only out of date part, that they want to turn it into a tea room, which is kind of like a bed and breakfast, just kind of like a quiet, sedate, cozy place you go to drink tea, eat cake, um, in this cake, eat blueberry pancakes. So they buy this house, expecting it to be nice and cozy, and they get there and it's dark and spooky. And Nikki goes to light a fire, and living in the chimney is an old black witch. So at first, the witch is causing trouble. She's wondering why these people are in her house that she's owned for hundreds of years, and the family is wondering why this witch is in their house that they just bought. But anyway, they let the witch stay in a room up in the attic, which is actually to her liking because it's got cobwebs and it's a little darker than the rest of the house. So Nicky and his mom carry on and continue with the process of opening up their tea room. The old black witch is not being any help at all. She just kind of keeps to herself up in the attic. The tea room opens. It's doing very well. One day the mom comes and says to the witch, "Please, I'm so busy. I'm so tired. I need your help. Will you please come downstairs and help?" And the witch says, "Sure, sure. I'll stir some. I'll stir some pancake mix." So she comes down, starts stirring the pancake mix. Pretty soon, she's making the best blueberry pancakes in town. And the customers are obviously a little weary of this short, stout little witch, serving up pancakes, but the delicious taste of the pancakes are undeniable, and the customers are soon, okay with the witch. So everything's going fine. The tea room is doing well, and word of their success spreads to some thieves who one night come to the house and begin to steal some of their hard-earned money. The witch sees this, and at first she identifies with them, saying, "Oh, they're doing something evil. I used to love to do evil things." But then she realizes that they're stealing from her. They're stealing from, people she's grown to love. And so she turns them into two spotted toads, which she has always wanted two spotted toads as pets. So, everyone wins except for the thieves. And then at the end, the everything works out, kind of happily ever after thing. The tea room thrives, and the witch becomes kind of like a second mother, to Nicky the boy. Um, so let's see. As I was saying, I came up with a little schedule, and on Monday, I think it would be great to kind of go over some vocabulary before you read. There's some words in this book that uh, normal third graders might not recognize, and English language learners will definitely need to know. They're not really extremely common words to the English language, the words I chose, so it'll be good to kind of just expose all the kids, English language learners, just your whole class to these words and get them familiar with it before you read the story, so they to improve comprehension. The words I chose are demanded, sputter, thieves, cauldron, scorched, muttered, screeched, and tea room because it's not common at all to find tea rooms around the United States anymore. And I also uh, extracted from the book 3 themes which aren't explicitly stated in the book, but kind of recur and play a big role. These themes are expectations, compromise, and teamwork. So, you teach also what these words mean and kind of give examples. You know, you wouldn't have read the book, but just for uh, your reference, expectations kind of relates to the book. So, you know, the witch is living in her chimney. She doesn't expect to be bothered with this family who wants to make her house into a tea room. Um, the family expects to find this house that they bought in, decent condition, cozy, needs a little work, but, they never expected to find this witch, or, you know, they didn't expect it to be so spooky. Compromise. The family, ends up letting the witch stay and work at the tea room. The witch lets the family stay without giving them too much trouble. And teamwork, kind of in the end, everyone comes together and makes the tea room thrive. So it's important also, along with the vocabulary words, for the children to understand these themes. Um, you know, Kind of point out to watch out for them in the book. When you're reading the book, point them out. This is an example of teamwork. This is an example of compromise. These are certain expectations that these characters have. Um, so, as I said, Monday you would teach the vocabulary and you would teach the themes. Access prior knowledge with these themes and vocabulary. Some of your students might know the vocabulary terms, some of them at least. Really get them involved, see what they know, and kind of build on that. Tuesday, we would do a picture walk and questions related to the theme. So the questions I came up with, just as an example, are: has there ever been a time that you didn't think a situation all the way through before making a decision? So that kind of relates to in the story, the family just buys this house without doing any research, without looking at it. They just buy it because they're so tired of searching for houses. And then it turns out there's a witch living there. So, has that ever happened to you? What were the consequences? Have you ever expected something to be a certain way, and when it happened, it was not what you expected? So, again, kind of expectations. Have you ever had to compromise with someone? That covers compromise. And when have you used teamwork? Teamwork. So, you could really ask these questions anytime, before, during, or after. I suggest maybe doing it before to get them kind of primed, and then maybe also during, while you're reading, kind of talk about it as well. And then a picture walk is before you read the book, you kind of flip through to each picture, um, show the students the pictures, and kind of get their opinion, get their thoughts, get their inferences from only the pictures. It's a really great way to establish a kind of tone and get them ready for what's going to happen in the story. And then when they're reading, they'll be focusing on the pictures, saying, did what I thought the picture represented, does that match what it actually does represent? Just real quick, I love this. Nikki goes to light a fire in the fireplace, and there's a big plume of smoke. And then on the next page, the witch is standing next to the fireplace. So say, where did that witch come from? Well, maybe one of your students will point out that it was the plume of smoke coming from the fireplace. Let's see. Wednesday, you read the book, focusing, on the vocabulary again, bringing up the questions, focusing on the themes. Thursday, you do, for lack of a better term, a concept ladder. I don't know if that's exactly what it's called, but kind of something like this. And this kind of hits the standard right on the nail. You pick out the main ideas and the main events in the book. I'm sorry, I know that's backwards, but I'll read it out. Um, the main themes and ideas in the book, and have the students kind of uh, condense, the main ideas into a couple little sections, and say which event led to which next event. Um, Kind of another cool thing you can do is, so for example, the first one is Mother and Nikki buy a house, and then they want you to recognize kind of the characteristics of the characters and their traits that led to each event happening. So you could say Nikki and Mother buy the house. What character traits does the mother show? Maybe ambitious, maybe optimistic, maybe excited. Um, uh, the witch makes blueberry pancakes and helps with the tea room. So helpful. You get the picture. Um, that'll also help every student, but especially your English language learners who might not completely catch, you know, every single sentence or comprehend every single sentence in the book. But if they can kind of condense the main ideas, um, that'll help them a lot. And then on Friday, to finish up the week, kind of a cool idea. I also thought to, assess comprehension is that they could make a sequel um, to the book or a prequel if they wanted to. To do this, they'd have to kind of have like, a pretty deep understanding of each character and how they'd act in certain situations. Maybe like Thursday or at the beginning of the day on Friday, you could do kind of like a jigsaw learning type thing. Each group, split the class into three groups, give each group a character, have each group come up with a list of traits for each character, and then have the groups come together and share what they've discovered about each character. And then so group, each student really will have a deeper understanding of the character and their traits, and then have them write a sequel or a prequel to the story. And you'll get some, great ideas, great stories. um, and the whole time you need to be focusing on those higher level thinking questions, because that's really really going to spark their interest, and that always leads to better comprehension. So anything you can do, get them to learn the vocabulary, spark their interest, relate it to their lives. That's why the questions come in, really handy, because it's asking them to reach back, into their memories, into their experience, and kind of allows them to relate themselves to the story. And that's why, as you're reading the story, it's good to bring up those questions again. Say, you remember, John, when you said you did this with someone else and it was teamwork, just like in the book. Um, that'll help them get interested. So thanks a lot for listening to me ramble on. Have a great day.